So we finally got our first dusting of snow. I'm just out taking Dudley for his walk. I don't know what it is about the snow, but it used to have that effect on Stanley too. When I take him for a walk in the snow for the first time, he'd always get the zoomies and wanted to run around and play in it. And he really loved the snow, and it's looking like Dudley is going to be the same way too. So that's good because I enjoy all the seasons, and especially the winter season. Gives you a chance to rest for a while, even when things are hectic and busy around you. I myself have been pretty busy. I've been working towards putting things away for winter, closing up my little shop. I like to prepare my meat pies and other things like baked goods and all my preserves. Get everything prepared and stored up for the winter. And I was working on some crafts and some special festive teas for a market that I did here for the first time. And that went very well, but it was pretty hectic for me. I had to do a whole bunch of things all at once, and multitask, and get everything ready and packed up. But as I said, that went well. I've been thinking a lot about these channels that pop up, these spiritual channels, and the gurus that try to tell you what diet to eat to be healthy. And my main concern with that is I believe that genetically, and I've said this before in one of my videos, that wherever you're born, whatever you're native to, the food is going to be what's going to be best for your body. It's going to be what's best to keep your cellular level going, and it depends on climate and weather conditions. Of course, if you live in an area like Canada, you would have to eat more protein to stay warm in the winter. So my ancestors, they would hunt and they would fish and put food up for the winter. And any fruits or vegetables that they preserved were a lot of times found in nature, like hazelnuts, and there's mushrooms that you can eat around here. Medicinal teas can be made from evergreen trees, wild apples, choke cherries, wild raspberries, wild blueberries, wild cranberries. It's a plethora of natural native plants that provide for the people who are native to this area. If you take a plant out of the desert and you bring it here and you put it in the ground and you think that it will survive on what your climate is and the seasons, and you'll quickly find out that it doesn't thrive, and you would probably have to take it indoors where it's warmer and coddle it during the winter months and give it certain nutritional needs. Well, people are the same way. Wherever you're born and raised, you're native to, nature provides for you what you need to be healthy. And sure that genetically they've modified certain plants and stuff to be more hardy or whatever, but sometimes I think they go too far and they mess around with things a little too much genetically, and then it has the opposite effect. So as for channels that pop up that tell you should only eat fruit or you should only eat vegetables or you're evil if you eat an animal, I have a hard time following that, because plants also feel things. So that's kind of hypocritical to say that if you eat a plant, you're better than said person who has to, maybe in the winter, eat meat to survive. It all comes down to how the animal or the plant is treated. Obviously, things that are growing in the wild and not manipulated will be happier. Just like people, if we weren't manipulated, I'm sure we would all be happier. But the truth is, everything on the planet needs sustenance to survive. So to say that, you're taking too much is, it's really not the one human, in effect, that's taking too much. It's the corporations that are factory farming and mass producing and biologically messing around with your food, which messes around with your body biologically. If they're putting pesticides and herbicides in the food you eat and you're ingesting it, of course, that's going to affect your biology eventually. So, especially things like hormones, it all creates imbalance in the body, in your natural rhythms of the body, your biorhythms. So it's something to think about. I just had to stop for a minute because the German man that owns this land, he gives me permission to walk it. It's acres and acres of property, and he's pretty vigilant about who gets to walk here. But I've been walking here for 6 years, and he's completely fine with that because he knows I don't do anything to threaten any of his little paradise that he owns. And it truly is a beautiful, beautiful walk. And I'm grateful that he lets me spend time here because it's very peaceful and private, and I have a free access to explore the trails and let my little Dudley run free. So, as I was saying, our bodies require a variety of different foods to keep us healthy. And I think we've been dictated to enough with corporate advertising telling us what's good for us and what's not. And if you really listen to your body and you're in tune with your biorhythms, you'll naturally crave, like when a woman's pregnant and she craves certain foods, it's usually because her body is telling her that she needs certain vitamins and minerals for the baby, for it to form, and for brain health and all of that. Even spices and herbs, and all of it is healing naturally without chemical intervention. I'm not saying that I don't believe that medical intervention isn't needed sometimes, because the way some people's bodies are genetically modified now, they're dependent on this. So they're not gonna, if you try to give them a herbal tea to help them sleep and they're already taking sleep meds or anxiety medication, that tea is going to do nothing for them. And in fact, it might interact with the medications they're taking and make their sleep deprivation worse. So there definitely is a line of division happening in the human species. And a lot of times the answers are just looking back in our ancestry at what our ancestors took when they were ill, or, you know, if they came up with some kind of malady from a lack of or a deficiency of something. What do you take in your diet to remedy that without chemical interference? Because generally, when you bring chemicals into the body, it's a recipe for dependency, because they don't cure. And then you need the next med to repair the damage that the last med did. And then next thing you know, your body is full of invaders. You're taking maybe 20 meds a day instead of the one that you started off with. And sometimes depression is in your genes, it's in your DNA. It's unhealed traumas from your childhood releasing through your body. They have to come out somewhere. It has to come out. When it comes into your body, it has to be released somehow. And usually that's through disease or maladies of the mind. And if you have people around you constantly planting things in your head, saying that you're not well, or you're bipolar, or you're stressed, or if they tell you that over and over again, eventually you're going to start to I don't want to say trust them, but you're going to start to believe them, and that's kind of like programming your own family, programming you into some malady that the you know who came up with. And I say who, you know who I'm talking about. So don't put too much pressure on yourself about, am I evil for eating a piece of meat? Because nature provides for everything on the planet. Everything is eating everything else. It's how you treat what you're eating. If you're hunting for sport just to kill animals, then that is evil, in my point of view. But if you're taking what you need, and if you have extra, you're giving back, then that to me is balanced living. That's balance, that's harmony, that's sharing, that's being grateful for what you have, paying it forward to help others. Everything we need is around us. It doesn't matter where we live. Even if you're a person in the desert, people in the desert, they know what to eat. They know where to find it. We have to stop letting these systems interfere with what is our sovereignty, our right to be here. Stop letting them charge us to live on our home, our planet. Stop giving them our attention, voting for them, handing over our stories and letting them create them for us. Like trapped angels. You have everything you need to create and survive in this world. You just gotta find your balance again. Follow that heart compass and keep learning. Even if you learn one small thing, it's something you didn't know before. And keep moving. We're all moving through this life on our way back home. It's Earth School, and don't think they're gonna trap you here, because that's a lie. That's how they harvest souls for their Philosopher's Stone. You don't have to be a part of it. It's all just an illusion. They trap you through trickery, programming, and pharmakia. It's up to you to take your soul back. I know you can do it. Keep going. I love you.